You've never seen so many locks and bars on a door. You can't find any way to open it.
It is very dangerous in Mordavia at night. We always keep things locked up when it gets dark. I will let you out for now. If you wish to return later this evening, just knock on the door. If you do not make it back by the closing of the inn, may you rest in peace.
Well, it's so long, it's been nice to know you. I like you. I have no taste, but I like you. If you ever make it to Silmaria, look me up. I never forget a friend, especially if he owes me money. But seeing as how it's me that owes you one, I'd better get while the going's good. See ya! Don't take any wooden kopecks! So, everyone, I'll leave you with this story. A man runs up to his doctor and says, "Doc, you gotta help me. I keep thinking I'm a goat." The doctor asked, "How long have you had this delusion?" The guy replied, "Ever since I was a kid." Bada-boom. That just goes to show ya I'm one bad dude. It's been sheer pleasure here, but I'm gonna take it on the lam and just bleed it. Be seeing you.
The massive gate to this town is securely barred to protect it from things that go bump in the night. You cannot leave the town this way. After some rest, you feel better. Ligeia's ghost comes forth, and she looks mad. This could turn into a really bad day. Now that you've sent Ligeia's ghost into another realm, nothing of interest remains in this tomb. You are in this weird and wonderful place once more. This time you remember all the times you have been here before, and despite the beauty, you are afraid. You listen for the voice. It calls out for you. You feel the darkness surround you, and you remember dying. You are overwhelmed with terror, and you remember running away. Your lungs struggle in the agony of no air, and you remember screaming. You are helpless and hopeless, and you remember the eternal loneliness. With all your remaining strength, you reach out to touch the voice. You awaken as the sun begins to rise. wake in a cold sweat. You remember every detail of the nightmare as though it had really happened to you. You examine the door closely. It's massive and well made. A large lock secures the door. Above the door is an intricate crest with the single word Borgov above it. The door is securely locked and feels very solid. It is deathly silent beyond the door. You apply your shoulder to the crypt door with a mighty heave. It won't budge. That's one heavy door. You turn the large skeleton key in the crypt door. With a sound like the groaning of an undead spirit, the massive door yawns wide open. You are in a dark, dank crypt, filled with bas-relief figures of long-departed knights and statues of the Grim Reaper. Stairs lead back up to the entrance. A brightly coloured copy of the Borgov crest adorns part of the floor. Your danger sense tingles slightly as you enter the dark confines of this crypt. It's a figure of the Grim Reaper, harbinger of death. At the base of the statue are the words, "Greet the Reaper." You see a coffin cover bearing a bas-relief sculpture of a knight. You have entered into a dark passageway. It twists and curves so that you quickly lose any sense of direction. You feel more than see a dark door at the end of the passage. You open it by touch. There's a small grating on the floor for drainage. You find nothing but slimy mold under the grate. A small, dusty, barred window high up on the wall does little to relieve the gloom of this dark chamber. Inside the coffin is an old skeleton, all that remains of a long-dead knight. Something seems wrong about this relief. You sense danger. This coffin sounds very, very quiet. Maybe even a little too quiet. Watch out, it's a trap! Oh, such a cheery sight! It's a statue of the Grim Reaper, harbinger of death. The stone feels as cold as death. Something seems wrong about this relief. Spelling out the name Borgov in colors has caused a secret compartment to open in the crest. Inside is a small key which you add to your keyring. The coffin cover is decorated with a bas-relief sculpture of a knight. Searching carefully, you see a small hole that looks like a keyhole in the sculpture. The small key from the crest opens a lock in the relief. You open the coffin lid to reveal a dark passageway leading deep into the mountainside. After following the dark passage for several minutes, you come out into a castle chamber. The bookcase closes behind you, and there is no obvious way to open it again. The bookshelves are full of incredibly exciting works, such as 250 years of boyar ledgers and first-grade writing samples. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. You see a portrait of a tall, arrogant-looking nobleman dressed for battle. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. It's a long, low cabinet. The cabinet is empty, save for a thick coating of dust. The cabinet is empty. The cabinet is empty. It's a drinking horn. At least it would be a drinking horn if it had something to drink. Those things always leak. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. You sense danger in the air, flapping on bat-like wings around you. The only effect is a tingling sensation. But if Dr. Cranium is to be trusted, you should now be safe from poison. For a while. The bookshelf sports a number of volumes of light reading. This must have been the boyar's personal reading room, since his crest decorates the top of the shelf. Nothing like a blazing fire to keep away the chill on those cold winter nights. Nothing like a blazing fire to... The boyar's crest looks slightly crooked. Straighten out the crest. The bookshelf opens, revealing a secret passage. After several minutes spent analyzing this piece of furniture, you reach the brilliant conclusion that it must be a bed. Curtains lend a touch of softness to the cold stone walls. This probably isn't at the top of your list of safe places to sleep. The sprawling castle watches over a lush and prosperous landscape. Obviously a fantasy piece. A worn, threadbare rug adds a touch of colour to the plain wooden floor. There's nothing hidden under the rug. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. The cabinet is empty. 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 Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. The cabinet is empty. The cabinet is empty. The cabinet is empty. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. A long hall runs north and south between two of the castle rooms. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. The bookshelves are full of incredibly exciting works, such as 250 years of Boyar ledgers and first-grade writing samples. Stained glass forms a wheel pattern high on the wall. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door.
I heard something. Did you hear something?
Nah, nobody ever comes here. People wants to get out of the dungeon, not into it.
You sense danger at the bottom of the stairwell. Maybe it has something to do with the two goons guarding the lower door. You hear voices at the bottom of the stairs.
Boring. This is definitely boring.
Hey, dungeons is always guarded, and we's the guards.
But why guard a dungeon when there's no one in there?
We got to guard something, don't we? Else we don't got the job.
Well, it's still boring. The master's really something, ain't she?
Yeah.
I even likes the kid. Shame they keep her all the way on the other side of the castle.
Yeah.
It's the Annabes guy I can't stand. He looks at us like we was food or something.
You got it. That guy gives me the creeps.
Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. You hear heavy breathing beyond the door. It reminds you of a hibernating bear. Through the keyhole, you can see what appears to be a child's bedroom. A large and dangerous-looking, ape-like creature sits near the door. The monster doesn't seem to like you letting light into the room. Maybe you would have better luck at night. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. You take 6 kopecks that you find loose in the cabinet. The cabinet is empty. The cabinet is empty. It's a massive iron safe. The chest is locked. Kablooey! You got the chest open, but set off an explosion in the process. The chest was trapped. You take 15 crowns from a pouch in the safe. The safe also contains several papers and some old clothes, but they have deteriorated with age and are worthless, so you leave them. The door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. You feel a strong sense of sorrow and loss. You shiver as the ghost passes through you. A cold chill remains behind. An ornate rug decorates the floor and helps keep some of the warmth from the fireplace in the room. This statue depicts a warrior. His visage is proud and noble. The statue of a young warrior helps to guard the stairs. The family crest of the Borgovs holds a commanding position over the room. This is the castle Great Hall. Besides the main entry to the south, doors exit the room on either side and at the top of the staircase. This statue depicts a man holding a long staff. Either the boyars had mages among them, or he liked to walk in the mountains. The statue depicts a stately-looking older gentleman. His expression and features give you the impression of great nobility. There are a number of large barrels piled in a disorderly heap. This bedroom in the western end of the castle seems not to have been used in some time, judging from the layer of dust on the bedclothes. The window on the west wall has been mortared over and admits no light. After several minutes spent analyzing this piece of furniture, you reach the brilliant conclusion that it must be a bed. It's a massive iron-bound chest. Finally, the wraith vanishes under the force of your onslaught, its ties to this world severed at last. The chest is locked. Kablooey! You got the chest open, but set off an explosion in the process. The chest was trapped. In the chest you find a small flask labelled Healing and 25 crowns. Pretty nice for a few minutes' work. That feels good. Just what you needed to relieve some of the aches and pains of everyday adventuring. You are in a storage room just to the west of the Great Hall. Stairs lead up to each of the doors, and barrels lie heaped against the north wall. The barrels are all empty. There's nothing useful you can do with them. Door hinges squeak in protest as you open the door. The chandelier provides scant light to the gloomy room. One of the candles has gone out and is dangling from the chandelier at an odd angle. You reach up to put the candle back. It's a fake candle. When you move it, a secret passage opens up behind the bookshelf. As you shake hands with the Grim Reaper statue, the door at the top of the stairs opens. You quickly make your escape from the deadly crypt. After some rest, you feel better. After some rest, you feel better. After some rest, you feel better. That feels good. Just what you needed to relieve some of the aches and pains of everyday adventuring. After some rest, you feel better. 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 You feel a chill go through you as you enter this part of the forest, as if a cold wind suddenly sprang up from nowhere. You cast the aura spell. A gentle glow suffuses your body. Ah, you feel much better now. You feel a chill go through you as you enter this part of the forest, as if a cold wind suddenly sprang up from nowhere. Wraith vanishes into nothingness, and the air slowly begins to regain some warmth. The barrow contains treasure that the Wraith collected while it was alive, or perhaps more recently from treasure seekers less fortunate than you. You find a well-crafted sword and 150 gold crowns. As you pick up the sword, you feel a sensation of strength and power. It's magical. You also find a scroll with mysterious letters that seem to writhe and shift under your gaze. At the top is a stylized heart symbol. A few drops of ink under it remind you of dried blood.